Hey you, welcome to my channel. It's really good to have you here. This is going to be an interesting video, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification as well because there is more where this came from. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon and a perfect day to point and kill something fresh. Finally, I decided to try this out because I feel like a catfish comes up. Like, I love catfish. First of all, it is the softest fish in the world. Like, when you cook it, it's so soft, it melts in your mouth. I like any food that can melt in my mouth because it just gives me less time to chew. I don't like to chew, so anything that just goes down easily is perfect. I would prefer to swallow, but if I can just chew on it a little, that's like the perfect balance, and catfish does that for me. I love grilled catfish so much. Like, I love it so much, and I have eaten it so many times in different places under different conditions, and I can't tell you that. Well, I've eaten some bad ones. I can count how many times they've been bad. I think it's maybe twice, yeah, that they have been bad because I think my mind just makes it right. Like, no matter how brand new the spice mixture is, like, my mind welcomes it, my mouth embraces it. And the two times I told you that I've tried it and it wasn't good was because they tried to just put normal stew on catfish, and that is a no-no. Like, that is not grilled fish. Just Kukuma turn it to rice and stew. Like, you cannot be eating catfish with stew. It is not it. So their heart was in the right place, but their sense wasn't. When it comes to me, you cannot go wrong with grilled catfish. I've been eating it for more than 15 years now. So I now have like a mental library of all the spices that stand out for me, like in all the different places I've tried it. And I'm bringing these spices together in this my special recipe, and I'm so eager to see what it turns out to be. That's why this video is so interesting, because I cannot wait to taste my own grilled catfish. Like, yeah, I can't wait. I know it's going to be nice. That, like, if I can't find any wrong with other people's own, it's not my own, that will now not be nice. So I know it's going to be perfect, and like, it's all here, and I've pulled them all together. Let me just get right into the spices, because if you leave me, I'm just going to keep explaining and explaining. First of all, we have our pepper. So I'm going to be using Scotch bonnet, this one right here, and tatashi, this one right here. I'm using this one because it's very hot, it's spicy. And then I'm using tatashi because of the flavor and the color. I want some pop of red in my sauce. And I don't know if you know this, but Scotch bonnets, they don't give out color when they are very fresh. So tatashi will give me that color and the flavor. The third pepper I'm going to be using is Cameroon pepper. I love the flavor of this Cameroon pepper in fish. Like, I've had some really nice fish that I could tell that this was their secret ingredient. So I'm going to be putting it on my own food, and it's also very, very, very spicy. The next ingredient is onions. This is like the regular red purple onions. I've chopped them. This is one big one. And I'm also going to be using spring onions. I've cut them as well. I just prepared them so that once I'm done showing the ingredients, I can get into making the marinade. Yeah, so these are spring onions. I'm using them for their flavor. These onions, I don't think it's enough to give you that flavor in this fish, because this fish kind of, you eat it with your nose first. Like, it's what your nose tells you that your mouth will tell you. And spring onions will tell you something special. Then I'm using some garlic. I'm using about 12 cloves. Garlic also has this strong flavor that when it comes in contact with fish, like, eat it with your nose first. It's your nose that will, I've said it before, but I'm going to keep emphasizing it because you eat with your nose first. So it's all about the flavor. It's all about the flavor. Once you can perceive it, you can taste it. I'm using 4 different types of pepper. The fourth one is green pepper. This is bell pepper, the green bell pepper. I also have some green tatashi here, again for the flavor. Garlic salt. This garlic salt, I'm using it because this fish needs not just any type of salt, it needs salt with surname, and garlic salt has a surname to it, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Then I have curry. Again, I'm going to be using very little of this because it's just the flavor. We're just going for it's all about the flavor, people. Then thyme. Thyme again, because thyme helps you set the tone when you are marinating. So thyme. Then we have spice cube. It has its flavor, but it's mostly for the taste, not really the aroma. But it has some aroma to it. But when you're making your fish, like this type of fish, it's not spice cube that will give you that aroma or that flavor. This is just to give it taste. Then we have some salt. Yes, we're going to be using salt with surname, but we'll also use the regular salt because it has to have some taste, like some generic taste. Lemon. Now, this lemon, I'm going to be using it for two things. I'll be using it to marinate, and I'll also be using it to wash the fish. I have vegetable oil. I'll be using this vegetable oil to mix all the spices and everything, like all the concoction I'm putting together. Then I have this. Now, I am not big on processed spices. Like, the most I do is spice cube. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not so big on processed spices. But this onga has this aroma. And I've had some fish that I could tell that you people put onga in this thing. I think onga, like the flavor of this particular spice, does something for the fish. So I'm going to be putting it. And then I have ginger. Ginger goes well with fish as well. And the flavor it gives to the fish is kind of mild. Yeah, it's not going to give like a poignant flavor to it, but it does something, especially when it pairs with all the other ingredients. And then our MOC, drum roll please, fish. But first, you have to come with me. Let me try and choose the one we're going to be eating, because it's a point and kill situation. You have to point it before you kill it, and then you start preparing it. Farm to table. Like, it doesn't get more premium than that. One of my dreams is to have my own farm, my own livestock farm, where I will get the leather I wear, the meat I eat, the milk I drink, everything that comes from livestock. But this is just baby steps. Baby steps. So let's go pick it.
We will enjoy as we they do for holding days. Every Friday go be public holiday. I will make my people happy. I will make everybody jolly. I will share the national money, divide the national cake.
Now we have made our choice. Let's get to cooking. Starting up, I'm going to wash my fish. I'll start with salt. Just sprinkle some. I'm going to pause this camera. Then going in with some lemon. I'm going to scrub the entire body. I'm prepping my fish to be receptive to all the flavors and the spices I'm going to be using on it. And for that to happen, I'm setting the tone with the base spice, which is salt. Sprinkle, sprinkle, and then I'll massage it in. So now I've rubbed in the salt into the fish. Next thing I'm going in with is some lemon. So I'm going to remove the seeds, don't worry. I'm putting this lemon on it because lemon helps spices sit in properly. As you can see, the fish is already swimming in some lemon juice, and this lemon is basically to just help it absorb whatever spice I'm going to be using properly. And while that is happening, I'm going to be prepping my marinade. Okay, starting up, I'll start blending the pepper. I'm going to make my marinade chunky, so I'm not adding any liquid to this. I'll just blend it like that. I'm done blending the pepper. See how they're not so chunky, they're finely chopped. So I'm going to transfer to this plate. This is the plate where I'm making the marinade. Tata cheese, all chopped. See, it's more colored, like there's more pigment in it than there was in the pepper. Next up will be the onions and garlic. So I throw them in. Definitely tastes good. The green pepper. You already know what's in here. I'll do half teaspoon of thyme, a quarter teaspoon of garlic salt, a quarter spoon of curry, a teaspoon of ginger, half teaspoon of Cameroon pepper. This is 6 grams of onga stewed spice. I'll be putting 2 spice cubes. Mix it all together. Pour some vegetable oil. Mix it all together. Mix and. It smells so delicious already. Like, it smells so good. Time to add our marinade on our fish. Into that with what I was made for. Come with my brush and let that soak in. Like, let it just enter inside, you know. So what I'm going to do now is to wrap it up. Wendy. I'm going to let this marinate for a couple of minutes and I'll put it in the refrigerator to do so. So I'm taking it like this into the refrigerator and I'll leave it there for about 30 minutes.
It's 10 minutes until I bring the fish out of the fridge, and I've started preheating my oven so that once I bring it out, it goes straight into the oven.
So the time has come and I'm going to be taking this baby into the heat chamber.
It's 30 minutes later, so it's time to turn off the oven. Ooh. Pull out the reel.
We're about to open it up for the reel. Wait for it. Ta-da. Ooh. You can tell from this steam that she's well done. Well done.
As soon as make me Mama G, una governor. This government now open the policy. If you like, you can stay in the corridor.
You know what time it is. You've seen the fish. It looks. Now, let's give it a taste test and see if my library worked. This is perfect. I've never had any fish like this. See my favorite part here? This part. I like scraping it up like this. Then it just melts in your mouth. This is serious. This fish tastes so glorious.